Let's get to football, though.
It started good with the crossover.
I did. And then
I like the crossover. The early crossover was nice.
Let's go to the NFC East here because it was likely a long flight home for those Philadelphia Eagles when they left L.A. Monday night after their third loss in a row. And with Monday's loss and 4 games remaining in the season, the Eagles have left the door slightly open for the Cowboys in the NFC East. The Eagles still have a 92% chance to win the division. They are projected to win 3 out of their last 4 games. But what we're saying is that there's a chance, right, Jerry?
Well, I watched the game flying up to New York. I'm overlooking Central Park right now, but real excited. They didn't have to put any fuel in the plane. I just flew up here on my own. I know it's cliche, but every play is meaningful right at this particular time, and we sure got a shot at this thing.
Is Jerry Jones right? Do the Cowboys have a shot at this thing? This was after his enormous flex of overlooking Central Park and not fueling the plane. But Marcus Spears, do the Cowboys have a shot at the NFC East? What do you think?
I say yes, but with a lot of apprehension, and it has nothing to do with the Cowboys. We obviously know that they need to win out in order to even be in this conversation, but it's just Philly. It's where they are right now. And look, there were some good things that came out of that game for Philly. Obviously, the turnovers, and everybody is going to talk about that. We saw some explosive runs from Saquon Barkley, some unfortunate plays, the A.J. Brown drop in the end zone. They make that play all the time. So, look, I don't think Philly is going to finish the season with no wins. And coincidentally, I think they win this division. But based on what we've been seeing right now, with the Philadelphia Eagles, whether they can get this ship right or not, is going to determine where the Cowboys sit towards the end of the season. So Jerry is not completely off his skis. And the Cowboys winning 2 of those 3 games, obviously losing the game to the Lions, hurt them a tremendous amount. But ultimately, you may be a byproduct of what other teams do. And that's where they sit right now. So it'll be interesting to see down the stretch. I think Philly got a chance to win out. Obviously, when it comes to saying that about this team after what we've seen for some weeks, it may not be possible, but I think Philly is going to turn on and win the rest of these games out. If they don't, the Cowboys will be sitting there.
Well, here's the deal. Here's the reality. Jerry Jones opened his mouth and said what he said because of the Eagles, not because of the Cowboys. He's saying, look at them. Look at this team. Look at them right now. You're damn right we got a chance because we don't know if they're going to win another game. That's what he's talking about. Without saying the Eagles, he's basically indicting the Eagles because it's not just about us, the Cowboys being a game and a half out, needing to win their games. It's about noticing what you're seeing from the division leaders. They don't look like a division leader. Yes. Not only are they on a 3-game losing streak, guys, they have the worst rushing defense in the National Football League over the last 3 games. The Philadelphia Eagles over the last 3 games have been doubled up in rushing. They've given up 5 usually makes, because that's why we call him a man amongst boys. Go back to the highlights against the LA Rams where he just shoving defenders off of him like they're paper, for crying out loud. This is what he was doing. But somehow, some way, you don't catch that pass. That's not good enough, especially when you open your mouth. And I got nothing but love for A.J. Brown, but you got to make those plays. You got to make those plays, okay? But with that being said, he still has like 24 receptions, 35 attempts. He's been balling over the last 3 games or so, been one of the top 2 receivers in the NFL statistically, and they've lost all 3 games. So Jerry Jones is sitting there saying, got a wide receiver that was complaining. Now you're getting him the ball, but you're still losing. You can't defend against the run. You lost 3 straight games. We were one of the teams that beat you, by the way, after we spotted you 21 points. You're damn right he's thinking they got a chance because he's looking at a reigning defending Super Bowl champion that looks like anything but. That's why Jerry Jones said what he said, and he's right.
You were banking right now on a complete and utter meltdown from the Philadelphia Eagles. 3 straight losses, yes. But the 3 teams that they have left, or the 3 games that they have left, are against inferior opponents. They have the Raiders this weekend. If they lose to the Raiders
at home
in Week 15, well, you better believe we're going to be talking about the Cowboys having a little bit more percentage chance than whatever the graphic tells us. Look, the vibes in Philadelphia right now are horrendous. They just got done with Nick Sirianni's weekly press conference, and they asked him if Jalen Hurts has been considered to be benched. This is where we're at right now. And guess what? Not every media market is the same way.
What?
You could say, well, that's ridiculous. And we're sitting here in New York, and I've got this nice tie and jacket on, and I can speak here in this air. It's different in Philly. It is a cauldron in Philly right now. And we're talking about local media, the fans. Jalen Hurts threw 4 interceptions and fumbled on Monday. They're not thinking about him hoisting the Lombardi Trophy in that media market. It's a different beast. Stephen A., you know it better than anybody. All those years spent covering Philly sports, it is not the same as it is in an Indianapolis or an Arizona or a Jacksonville.
Not at all.
And that can affect players. It can affect coaches. 2023, I was covering the NFL for a different network. They sent me down to Philadelphia. They said, hey, the Eagles are in a tailspin. They host an awful Cardinals team. An awful Cardinals team in Week 15. Go cover that game. 12-point underdogs. The Cardinals walked in to Philadelphia amidst boo birds everywhere, and they beat the Eagles that day. I am not putting it out of the realm of possibility that this awful Raiders team finds one reason to galvanize after another and feeds off the booing fans if things don't go early, and the Raiders can find a way on Sunday.
Who even is the backup in Philadelphia? Is it Sam Howell?
Tanner McKee is his name.
Tanner
and he is the most popular person in Philadelphia sports this week because that is how
Can I
that
chime in
thing
for a
is.
second? Before Swaggo, before you start, Swaggo, let me give you all some insight into Philadelphia. They know good and damn well. They know good and damn well Jalen Hurts ain't getting benched. That's not what it is. Let me stop you right there before you even start, Swaggo.
All right.
They know better. It's not. That's not what they're thinking. What they're thinking is something to light a fire under Jalen Hurts, because if you really, really look at his career, the best of Jalen Hurts has come under the most adverse of circumstances. Mm-hmm. The Super Bowls are an adverse circumstance. Going against Patrick Mahomes is an adverse circumstance. Being at Alabama, an adverse circumstance. Going to Oklahoma, having to transfer when you get benched in the national championship game is an adverse circumstance. This man, Jalen Hurts, has gone through a lot in his young life as a professional and as an elite college athlete, okay? And when called upon to respond, he has. So Philadelphia is the kind of city, and you are absolutely right, I know, not just because I worked there for 17 years, but I was a professional instigator of stuff while I was there, admittedly so. You understand what I'm saying? I'm telling you right now what they're thinking. In other words, what they're saying is, yo, you want your ass on the bench in favor of this no-name cat? You really, really want to be out there being reminded of what it's like to be on the bench? You better get your act together. That's what Philly is doing. They know good and damn well Jalen Hurts ain't getting benched for no backup quarterback. They know that, but they're trying to light a fire under him because everything else they believe that has been tried this year has been failed, Swagoo. That's what it's all about. Don't think anything of it other than that.
All right, cool. I'll let it go then. Light the fire under Jalen Hurts. Right. The Super Bowl champion 6 months ago. Yeah, phenomenal. Yes. That's awesome, Philly. Right. That's a great thought process. I think they've been to 2 Super Bowls in the last 4 years, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, they have.
In that first Super Bowl that they lost, he was the best player on the football field. I get it. They mad right now, and I understand it. And light a fire under the Super Bowl champion. Cool. Let's do it.
Okay, so
I'll leave it at that, Stephen.
Right.
Swagger's been sick about
quarterbacks. There's nothing wrong with it because that's when he's been at his best.
Yes.
There's nothing wrong with it because that's where he's been. It's just talk. It's just talk. Now, if he actually were to get benched, that's a different subject. But just talking is just basically trying to light a fire under him because nothing else has worked thus far over the last several weeks.
All right, you pull me back.
Here we go.
Back in this conversation. The idea that you need to light a fire under Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts has been a consummate professional since the first day stepping on the field for the Philadelphia Eagles. And I get it. Like, we want to have this going away right now. I understand it all. This is a 2nd-round pick that was drafted with a guy that just got franchise money, was asked to come in and be the starter. What pressure is more than that? Create the pressure for what? Listen, this is where I get sideways with the fans. All right. And understanding that I know Jalen Hurts.